Let's see. Single wanderer can be seen slowly trudging along. Stop and investigate. Dozer grinds to a halt. Greets you with welcoming tone. Oi, fellow traveler! A meso rig you got there. Never seen its like. And I would know. I scour the wastelands for information. I'm what you might call a collector of knowledge. Something I can enlighten? Ask about the factions. The 4 factions constantly warring for the control of the territory. Still, not all of them are bad. There are those you can trust, even among the worst. Which might be of use to you. Interest to you. Let's talk about the mutants. The mongrels of the wastelands evolved over the ages from all the exposure to toxic swill. They scoff at radioactive sludge and biowarfare weapons, and use the environment to their advantage, as that's the will of the king, Socrates. Some will socialize with humans and Borgs, but they prefer their own kinds. And if you cross them, they might whack you with spiky fists or spew corrosive gunk on you. Alright, what about the Marauders? Roughest of the bunch, scavengers and thieves mainly. They love fire and they love pain. Many are loyal to King Viscera, but mostly they live to plunder and kill. And they do hate cyborgs, most of all. It's truth. Nobody knows what started it way back, but they sure do grip the grudge. What about the cyborgs? To help survive out here, some folks find bod mod surgeons and go Borg, adding scraps of tech and warware into their cells. Downside, getting wired up can give some of them meaners. And they want to fight all the time. The Cog followers worship old machine gods. They say the AI made the AI in the long past. Them Borgs aren't fond of pure fleshers, but most of that hostility is reserved for Marauders. Sworn enemies. Nobody really knows why, but it's a fact. What about AI? The Hollows, some folks call them. Tried to exterminate humanity long ago, but you never know what you're gonna get. Some are rightly cordial, others are clicked off. Tread wary. Some are still coded to the old protocols, slave to the ancient machine gods as they made them, or the Axiom, trying to get all their circuits regulated. And they got annihilation tech like you never seens. But collecting their hearts can be a fetch for a haggle. Okay, and something else. Ask about Bedlam. The Big Chaos, a cruel and unpredictable place, but never dull. What else can I tell you? History. Was a race to oblivion it was, all mankind's quantum advancements undone by industry and avarice, portable fusion, consumer biotech, genetic menagerie, soldier farms, and black science. Next came the conglomerate conflicts, the AI wars, the crusade of 80 plagues, the fear years, and the clism that started the Barren Age, contaminated the Atmo, and created this harsh domain we call Bedlam. People. Most regular folks out in Bedlam aren't aligned with the factions, just trying to survive and thrive from one sun to the next. Some will wander the wastes like myself, others convene in boomtowns dotting the charred lands. One thing in common is haggle for the basics, meat, crude power, and sometimes even service. If you need an extra trigger or two, all's fair for the exchange. And what about King Viscera? The self-proclaimed overboss of Bedlam, ruthless as he is enigmatic, huge and fearsome, it has been said. Delights in torment, united a lot of marauder clutches to boot kick for him. He's always searching for Bedlam for artifacts and weapons, to give him more influence and control. Something tells me he'd be rightly interested in that vehicle or yours. And something else. That it? We're leaving. You return to your Dozer and continue along the road, leaving the wandering knowledge collector behind. Okay, and we get more stuff. Cool. As the crew is traveling through a gorge, they arrive at some type of ancient depot. There are 2 giant fuel containers with a reinforced bunker between them. The fuel containers corroded long ago, and any crude they once contained has been reclaimed by the ground. Rusted hunks of several large vehicles sit nearby. On the side of each is a faded image resembling a bishop's hat with a hazard symbol in the center, the symbol of the ancient crusade of 80 plagues. Investigate the bunker. Oh! Above the bunker's door, handwheel is a strange faded image resembling a bishop's hat and a hazard symbol in the center. Below the wheel is what looks to be a large keyhole. Use the Crusade's key! The crew inserts the key into the slot, and with some effort, it finally turns. Tumblers inside the door can be heard clicking, and they are able to crank the wheel and pry the door open. The crew cautiously explores inside, wary of any surplus biowarfare weapons from the Crusade of 80 Plagues. Instead of finding any horrific man-made diseases, They discover a stockpile of large crude drums, still intact and full. Being sealed inside the bunker must have protected them from the elements over the ages. The crew returns to the Dozer with valuable resources. AK completely useless for me. Alright, whatever. Let's keep her going. I really like this game. The crew discovers a large hangar, now dilapidated from centuries of exposure to the harsh wasteland. It appears to have been reinforced with scrap to keep it standing. The sounds of machinery are heard emanating from the rickety structure, and a man can be seen working on some kind of winged vehicle inside the doorway. Approach. The old man, garbed in a grease-stained smock and holding a fusion welder, momentarily turns away from his curious project to greet the crew. Ah, barely heard you arrive. I'm rightly determined to get her aloft. Ask the man what he's building. A beauty, isn't she? An actual flying machine. Been dabbling for more suns than I can count. Gathered all the knowledge that can be found. People once used these to travel the air. The stories say. Long before the black science contaminated the atmo and caused the infinite static. Nothing living up there now, except those savage Mobius hawks that rule the skies. But I rightly think I've got it all sorted. Now, pardons, please. I must not unfocus. Nearly there, nearly there. I shall soar. The crew departs, leaving the man to his tinkering. Okay, well, that was interesting. On we go. While exploring the strange environment, the crew discovers a mass of undulating purple vines. Ah, crap. Oh, wait. Near the base of the vines are two mangled corpses that clearly have multiple broken bones, likely from being constricted. Uses the neutronic tuning fork. There may be a use for the makeshift device given the crew by the deranged wanderer. Activating the tuning fork and directing it towards the vines causes them to slowly release their hold on the vehicle and retract into the ground. With the deadly vegetation out of the way, the crew inspects the remains of the transport. Inside, they find a supply of fusion batteries, which still retain charge. As with more batteries, which means more alcohol. Alright, what about the last place? At this point, I'm not even afraid of combat. As the crew explores the area, their attention is drawn by the nearby sounds of voices and lilting music. Following the sounds, they crest a hill to discover a structure in the ravine beyond. It sounds like some kind of gargantuan mutated gourd. It looks like some kind of gargantuan mutated gourd that also appears to be doubling as a place of business. The sign on the plate of scrap metal outside reads, Madame Grunska's Pleasure Pod. There are several human patrons milling about the area, while a group of mutants are manning formidable fusion turrets to dissuade any unwanted behavior. Approach the establishment. As the crew approaches the entrance, a burly armed mutant blocks passage. You morts be wanting to pleasure. Haggle for entry. Offer crude. That be good enough. Enjoy the pleasure, morts. The crew enters the large area with a series of chambers along the outer wall, each with organic curtains that allow entry and exit for patrons. In the center of the room is a green stump with numerous holes in the surface. A female mutant attendant approaches. Greets to you, morts. Be poking an arm into the slugwood to be feeling the sweet sling of bliss. Reach into the stump. As each of the crew places an arm into the stump, they are jabbed with something within. Moments later, as their heads begin swimming with lustful sensations, an attendant leads each of them to the outer chamber. The crew's consciousness fades in a haze of ecstasy. Details beyond that are fuzzy. Sometime later, the crew awakens, feeling completely rejuvenated, while vague memories of euphoric encounters with strange lifeforms dance in their heads. The crew returns to the Dozer, exhilarated from the bizarre experience. I don't know what happened there. Whatever. Let's head to Melconda. We're almost done. One area left. Bedlam is notorious for his unpredictable climate. You are entering a peculiar mist of corrosive enzymes. Okay, we know this. I hope we make it to Aztec City. Let's see. Ahead on the road, you can see a trio of vehicles stopped on the side. Several uniformed scientists are standing around them, seemingly in a daze. The vehicles appear to have come from the Byzantine, judging by their quality and condition, and the logos of the Quarterplex Quantum Pharmaceuticals on each. Stop and investigate. Greets to you, Flabbermac. We've been out here in the Zerbith lands doing research on some rather diptronic mutated mushrooms for the new product line of Cranial Microburst. It seems our exposure to the microsilicants has had a lingering effect on our foams. Didn't even realize we were low on fuel for the Vordrek. Then we became claustrofabulous and now it has affected our language. Per maschit. We would certainly be gourmented for some assistance. Let's see. Let's offer crude. Grats for the Trenchulans. We will be on our way once the strawments wears off. You return to the Dozer and continue along the road, leaving the intoxicated scientists behind. Maybe I should have invited them along. I don't know. Oh well. Hey Razor Can, how's it going? Or Razorin. Okay. While traveling through the rocky terrain, the crew exits the mouth of the canyon into a clearing. In the middle of is a stone pedestal. A large ring constructed of unknown materials sits atop it. On the base of the pedestal are the remains of several explorers. Approach the ring. The crew investigates the skeletons and finds little of value except for a hand-scrawled map. In the middle is a circle marked with the words Chrono Channel. Another skeleton clutches a list, but looks to be indecipherable calculations. As the crew steps onto the stone pedestal, the massive ring suddenly moves and groans and begins spinning in place. When the whirling ring reaches full velocity, some kind of stable energy vortex appears in the center. Steps through the portal. The crew steps into the energy vortex and they immediately experience flashes of otherworldly luminescence, combined with the sensation of rushing through space at an unimaginable speed. Then they step through the other side, only to realize they're in the exact same rocky field. As the spinning ring comes to a halt, the crew realizes that somehow a number of days have passed, despite the fact that they've only traveled several feet. The crew, a few days older from their curiously brief journey, returns to the Dozer. Okay, well that was interesting. Okay, while the crew explores the strange environment, their attention is drawn by the sound of nearby weapon fire. Mutants seem to be fighting each other. Oi, Morts, you be interloping on the Trigger Fist contest. The tribes don't be needing no distraction. You be serving as the targets now. Okay, so we're fighting. That said, do I wanna switch this up at all? I don't think I do. Why? Because I'm going to be throwing booze at them. And I want to be able to do it in an efficient manner. Please tell me I can chuck booze at them. I'm a little bit worried about hitting one of my own characters with booze. I've never tested that before. And I will have to. Luckily, looks like the game is already working in my favor. Have fun, guys! Skyshine! Okay, so if we move him here, he'll be able to take out this one gunner. In retrospect, let's... Do we want to move Chris Dog? No, let's level up Abe.
Meat.
We'll need it. These guys will all fight each other. Then we can kind of move in the rest of the way. Okay. The problem is this guy is slow as butts. But maybe he can get a shot in from over here. Luckily they're doing a damn good job of finishing each other off. I think I can kill him the rest of the way. Cool. That was easy. Booze! The most wonderful of ways of killing things. Honestly, I would say next time I start this game, I'm immediately just throwing a bunch of power cells straight into Armory. It's substantial. Okay. Well, we've got a little bit more. We're almost there. We really are. We might be able to make it. Okay, as the crew's exploring, they encounter a caravan of human nomads traveling across the dunes. A Borpotamus is towing a trailer loaded with scrap and power cells, while the other beast drags a cart filled with decapitated heads and severed hands of mutants. Oh, it's these guys. On the backs of each Borpotamus is a large mounted fusion turret, each trained on the crew. Approach the nomads. Nomad leader approaches the crew. Oi, fellow travelers! Fabbing to see the others out footing into big chaos for plunder. Interested in haggle? We have power if you have pieces. Offer him the mutant hand. Brills, a fine portion you strip from some filthy jankin' freako. Fair haggle. Alright, we get more power cells. More booze. Where's the booze from? My ship has a boozapult. Oh, hey, speaking of, we got a VIP. King Visera said you scuzzers would be a challenge. Ha! Crowbar Main is gonna pound you puny baboobs with the man masher. Time to make paste. Okay, so same group as last time. We're just throwing booze. Solve the problem. Who cares? I wonder if I can just, like, win the game this way. I don't know. Speaking of, I had the mini nuke launcher attached to my ship. I haven't used it yet. I wonder why. Alright, weapon. Bada boosh, can you do the fandango? You drunk bastards. These are questions that I ask myself on a daily basis. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see that guy. Well, let's hope for the best. Just shoot each other, please.
Power.
I'm just going to keep moving forward. Hopefully we can shoot crowbar a bunch. Oh, we can't shoot crowbar at all. Okay. Now can you shoot crowbar? We need to move him up. I don't know how long this booze lasts. Oh, crap. Okay. Can I throw more booze? This is 110% worth it for me. Get drank, Janks. Okay, so we gotta get out of the way. God, curse this guy's massive size. Oh well. At least Crowbar is almost dead. There's Crowbar. Okay. So I can't really do much to this guy yet. The best thing is we still end up making power cells from this, which is the best. Winning with the booze is the best way. Oh, nope, we didn't actually. We lost a little bit there. Whatever, not that big of a deal. Mark of shame, King Visera. Oh, mark of shame. King Visera would pull Crowbar Main's head off his neck for the failure. If you take me in your machine, I'll pulverize any lunks you got. Yeah, it tells me to. You got Crowbar Main's pledge. Crowbar Main has joined the crew. Yeah. All right. So first and foremost, the booze strategy is amazing. I don't know. And we actually have a fair shot at the end. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but it's still worth it. The early quiet. Drive on. We got one little thing. While exploring the area, the crew's sensors detect some kind of advanced frequency, which seems like an anomaly in the wasteland. Following the signal, the crew discovers an encampment. Judging by the equipment and logos of the United Biotech Innovations, they must be corporate scientists from the Byzantine, doing research in the Bedlam. Approach the scientists. When the scientist steps away and says, "Ah, greets to you, brave travelers. We heard of your expedition just before we departed the city and ourselves seeking seeking undiscovered elements and evolutionary miracles. Thus far, the only item of interest we have encountered is the shell of a Vorax spiner, a lethal creature that we believe actually went extinct before the Barren Age. Unfortunately, ultimately may not be of value for the research required. The last one of our vehicles is in a state of disrepair, so we have been researching here for some time, but we shall endeavor to locate additional valuable assets for the glory of the corporation. Come along. If you do not mind storing our equipment and research specimens on board, we are certainly amenable. Think of the uncharted territories we'd be able to reach on your expedition." Outstanding, we get a Vorax spiner thingy bob. And some passengers, but luckily we are just swimming and stuff. Alright. Those are not the same guys. Different corporation, same artwork. Okay, up ahead near the road, there appears to be some kind of large metallic construction. As the Dozer draws closer, the wreckage looks like a mangled remains of some kind of satellite crashed in the ground long ago. Investigate. It appears to be a weapon satellite of AI design. It must have been used against mankind during the AI wars long ago, before the inevitably lost orbit and plummeted into the ground. Parts of the exterior have clearly been scavenged already, but the core remains mostly intact. Your engineers managed to extricate several primary components from the casing and reassemble them into a functional weapon. Some type of voltaic disruptor can fire powerful electrical pulses. Electrical guillotine has been installed as a Dozer weapon. Cool. I want to take a look at weapons for a second. I thought I had a portable nuke launcher, but I guess I don't. I do have this thing though. Cool. So now we can just, I mean, we've got I've got a butt ton of power cells. I can just, anytime I'm in combat, I can just lob weapons at them and call it a day. While exploring the area, the crew discovers a derelict facility built into the side of a cliff wall. A faded sign near the entrances reads, Majestic Industries, Felon Stasis, your cryo-convict solution. Enter the facility. The crew appears to have once... the facility appears to have once been a functioning cryo-prison. Areas of the building's interior have collapsed. Their halls are lined with large cylinders, some of which have cracked and spilled their contents onto the floor. Others have the desiccated remains of inmates floating within them. It seems clear that the prisoners all perished when the power ceased, likely during the catastrophe that caused the Barren Age long ago. Have Hunter Scutt explored the facility? Been out of my share of penitentiaries, usually on early release. I dictated myself. Bet I can find where they stockpiled their auxiliary fusion batteries in this hole. And we get more batteries. Cool. Didn't need those, but this does lead us up for some pretty ridiculous overpowered abilities. And really, I just mean chucking massive amounts of booze at people and just killing them with that. I don't even know. As the crew ascends a rocky incline, they come across a curious mess. It appears to be a large pile of moist meat and bone. There also seems to be pieces of marauder armor and weaponry mixed in with the sickening mound of wet flesh. While the crew is attempting to establish the origin of the strange flesh heap, a fizzling sound suddenly fills the air. Seemingly out of nowhere, another mass of flesh and bone appears and plops onto the pile, spattering blood everywhere. Explore the area. Heading further up the incline, the crew eventually hears several marauders shouting and laughing, followed occasionally by the same fizzing noise heard earlier. Approaching cautiously, they can see the marauders each individually stepping on some kind of metal platform on the ground. After they each stomp on the surface for a moment, the fizzle resonates again and their bodies transform into a quivering jumble of meat before blinking out of existence. The others laugh riotously. As the crew draws near, the final marauder disappears. Approach the platform. From what the crew can tell, this is some kind of tactical displacer platform that was used long ago, likely to teleport combat automatons into battles during the AI wars long ago. Although somehow still functional, it was clearly not designed to transport organic material, hence the hideous meat mound encountered earlier. However, it is possible that the Dozer technicians could research and reconfigure this device for humans, turning it into a battle equalizer that could give the crew an advantage in battle. Yes! Okay, body displacer has been installed. We're almost there. Okay. While traveling through the canyon, we hear weapon fire nearby. At the other end of the canyon, a large caravan of nomads has stopped. They are under siege by a swarm of skittering troglopods, pustule vermin of Bedlam. Several of the nomads are attempting to fend them off with archaic slug throwers, but the sheer numbers of the critters are bound to overwhelm them. Eventually. Intervene. The crew's advanced firepower proves no match for the troglopods. Wait. Proves no match for the troglopods? That's wrong. Whatever. Splattering them into messy chunks in great numbers, the vermin quickly retreat, dashing away out of sight over the rocks and into crevasses. The apparent leader of the nomads approaches. Fortuitous of rivals, grats to you travelers. We wouldn't have lasted another sun against the horde of horrids who footed long enough without signs of hope. Join us on the Dozer. Indeed, riding on a grand machine rather than forever footing in the hellified lands? The pleasure would be ours indeed. Indeed. Ooh, he is bloody. Alright, we get a lot of passengers. That's a lot of passengers. Well, whatever, I got plenty of food, so it's not really a big deal. And, I mean, we've got so many resources, it doesn't even matter. As the crew explores the bizarre terrain, they discover a domed area in the ground. It appears to be covered with a hardened translucent substance. Peering inside, the dome leads down into a huge pit. The floor inside is covered in large eggs of some kind. Try and break inside. Translucent substance proves to be impervious to both... Okay, can't get through. And we get mutants. Oi, interlopers, your wicked morts be disturbing to hatchlings, breeders be giving you to penance. Alright, we're fighting. Well, we're fighting with this, because I don't care. I mean, we could lose, but I think I can just chuck alcohol at them and it solves all problems. Oh. Oh, now all of my guys are drunk. Well, it was about time that we tested this one out. I'm a little bit worried, but I'm not really worried. Damn it. First and foremost, we need to heal. Second and foremost, third and foremost, you just go stand next to him. Okay. So that worked. Unfortunately, these guys are drunk and not doing anything. These guys are also drunk. And that's a problem. We can keep healing. Can you hit this guy? Snazzy. Okay. Sweet levels. And this guy can do only 3 damage. I'm a little bit worried about their sniper, but I think we're okay. Abe can kill him the rest of the way. Just be very careful. Let's heal. Oh wow, that's a team heal. I dig it. Okay. And we're gonna take the long way around. There we go. Okay. Triumph. Now let me guess, I only get 30 power cells. Yeah, so we're gonna be running out of those very slowly. Whatever. Let's take a look. Heals in 12 days. Damn it. I would have liked Abe. Oh well. To Aztec City. Let's see how this goes. Let's see. Who is saying they might have to tune away? Well, if you don't want spoilers for the end of the game, I guess tune away for a short period of time. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. The Dozer slows and comes to a halt. You disembark to examine what's ahead. The road ends at a massive wall constructed from some unknown substance. It's higher than the Dozer itself and stretches to both ends of the horizon. It appears impregnable. Near the side of the road is a tall metallic statue of a robotic warrior, partly corroded from enduring ages of exposure to the harsh Bedlam elements. Suddenly, the statue groans to life and moves towards you. Vigilus Omega Online. All imperfect beings are to be eradicated as per Eternity protocols. Assessing threat and processing tactical strategy. Support units mobilized. Obliteration of lesser forms commencing. Okay, so seeing as... let's take out Abe, though he might still be a concern. Let's bring Durgo, let's bring Crawford, let's bring Crowbar. And screw it, we'll bring Abe anyway. He's firepower. Okay. Please tell me we're not surrounded. If it's a divide, we're good. I don't know if you can make the machines drunk, unfortunately. Oh, that wasn't... wait, really? It's just Vigilus in these things? Alright, weapon. Oh man, do we do it? I could totally do it. It'd be hilarious. Let's not do it. Well, that was fast. Sentinel has been subjugated for this unprecedented accomplishment. This vehicle and its occupants have been calculated to be acceptable merit, and shall be allowed passage. Vigilus Omega will accompany travelers to the intersection. Vigilus Omega has joined the Dozer. A seam in the massive wall appears, and a section slides away to allow the vehicle entry. As the portal seals behind the vehicle, the Dozer continues along the road into uncharted territory on the quest for the legendary Aztec city. OP use of items. Yeah, the fact that I can use them over and over and over again is really powerful. Alright. The Dozer continues along the road, traveling for a lengthy period of time without any sign of trouble or life. Suddenly, the Dozer's instruments begin going haywire, detecting mysterious signals ahead. Could this be an indication you're finally approaching the fabled Aztec city? Passengers begin buzzing with anticipation. The Dozer sensors reach a crescendo as the vehicle draws close to the source of unknown energy. The Dozer travels over a rise and arrives at what is beyond. The vehicle comes to a halt and you disembark. The road ahead abruptly ends at a vast crater, expanding as far as the eye can see. The surface seems fused by some kind of powerful, otherworldly weapon. Aztec City is gone. Suddenly, shimmering in the air above the crater, a monolithic pyramid appears. The passengers rejoice at the astonishing sight. A small door opens on the surface of the incredible structure. A hovering orb of mystical light approaches, carrying a curiously garbed man. Greetings to you, brave travelers. I am Telekin, herald of the Tesseractus. You have defeated the Barrier Sentinel, and we have been able to periodically monitor your progress through the veil of the fractal carousel as you boldly battled through chaos and devastation. It has been many ages since we have seen a mechanic. Your perilous journey will be rewarded. You and your courageous contingent have been deemed worthy to join us within the glorious realm of the Tesseractus. Aztec City awaits. But we must make haste, though our sanctuary is eternally tethered to this superposition. The enduring corrupted energies of this domain mean that we can only materialize for brief periods, else we risk a state of permanent flux. We must immediately return to the fractal carousel, where we have drifted the omniverse since the dawn of the Barren Age. The Telekin makes a series of gestures. You and your crew and passengers are surrounded in a floating orb of energy that rises and delivers you to the massive pyramid. As you near the monolithic structure, you briefly consider all those who must continue to withstand the adversity of the Byzantine, the hardships of the wasteland, and the torturous reign of King Viscera. You enter the indescribable splendor of Aztec City, and the portal closes, leaving the hellscape of Bedlam behind forever. The journey of mechanic is not complete. The people of Byzantine can be saved. King Viscera can be defeated. Play again on normal or Bedlam mode to unlock additional Dozers and achievements. Travel back through the wasteland to Byzantine and confront King Viscera in the ultimate battle. More Bedlam awaits. Score: a lot. Played 1 hour. Battle 17 out of 17. Kills 81. Crew lost 14. 13 promotions. 58 locations visited. Crude used 3,391. Meat eaten 2,540. Power cells used 522. Passengers saved 1,655. Enjoy your victory while it lasts. That's probably King Viscera, but I could be wrong. Anyway, ba-bam! So I want to take a look at New Run. It said fight the other direction. Did we unlock anything new? The answer is no. Nuts. Alright, well, good enough for me. I was really satisfied with that. Obviously, we're gonna have to bump up the difficulty. That's gonna be a problem. Oh well, not the end of the world. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I cannot wait to, I don't know. Can't wait to play it again. Which will be like tomorrow, because this game is awesome. It's really good. It really is. I mean, it's FTL. A little bit simpler, but at the same time, not a big deal. Yeah, Rogue AI, you can totally be the Rogue AI, if you want to. I am stiff. I am tired. But I'm really happy. So I will see you guys on the next episode of Skyshine's Bedlam, where we'll probably go fail and die and stuff like that, but I've learned a lot. Like, booze wins everything forever, because holy crap. And apart from that, I don't even know. For now, let's take a break.